This is a historic moment for the Miss Universe pageant. For the first time in 20 years, they have awarded a blonde woman the title of Miss Universe. She is Miss Denmark, and forgive me for my tragic mispronunciation of her name. Victoria Kjær is the winner. I probably butchered that. We're moving on from that now. But
okay.
This is a monumental vibe shift, or at least people on Twitter are saying that, because there are a lot of reasons to think that. First of all, she is actually a woman. She is a biological woman, and Miss Universe has had their own fair share of controversies allowing trans-identifying biological males compete against women in these beauty pageants. Even Trump has his own history with that, which I posted about earlier today. So she is a biological female. She is conventionally attractive. She is thin, and she is blonde-haired and blue-eyed. And not only that, she's from Denmark, and they didn't pick a woman from Denmark who happens to be an immigrant. Mm-hmm. So there are just a lot of reasons why people are mad at this or celebrating this right now. It's very controversial when it shouldn't be. Mm-hmm. Here were some of the takes hating on the decision. One person said, Miss Universe crowning an 18-year-old white European blonde woman reflects the social climate we are in so well.
Is the idea there that because of her race and because of her hair color, she should be forever disqualified from that possibility because it's happened in the past?
Well, because it's not diverse.
Okay.
That's why. I mean, these people really just hate white people.
Yeah.
That's pretty clear. Do you have a picture of her, by the way?
Yes.
I found out that this woman is 21, and I was absolutely shocked.
She did. I mean, the makeup makes her look way older.
Yeah, I guess that's kind of the convention for
she looks like
these beauty pageants.
I was going to say, she looks like this actress, Helena Matson, who's way older. Like, she looks like Helena Matson in her late 20s or early 30s. Conventionally attractive woman, but they're not the same age.
But that's the point of these beauty pageants. You're not supposed to be unique. You're supposed to fit the beauty standard. And I think this reflects that the beauty standards are changing for the better, possibly. Here were some other seething takes. One wrote, I thought it was unfair and a racist decision at Miss Universe. Denmark, blonde but bland. Your loss, Miss Universe. New Zealand was right there serving brains and beauty. Imagine fumbling someone that eloquent and gorgeous. Embarrassing, truly. I hope the crown feels heavy with regret. A third person said, Miss Universe is supposed to value communication skills, intellect, and diversity, as well as fairness, and this year had none of the above.
Okay.
All the women who embodied and represented what a Miss Universe is were robbed. How disappointing. Another one said...
No, go back to that one first. Read all those qualifications again.
You're supposed to value communication skills, intellect, and diversity in the potential winner.
Okay, look. Intellect and communication skills, I understand. Diversity wouldn't necessarily be a qualifying statement for the winner, but maybe for the pageant itself. Right? Like,
yeah.
The idea might be to diversify the amount of people that could win, but valuing it in a winner makes no sense at all. Diversity is the opposite of one person winning.
Exactly. You would need to let everyone win Miss Universe for it to be diverse. But
it's the trophy.
Literally, by the nature of what it is, you are gathering women from all across the planet. Yeah. It has to be diverse. But they're mad that the women from European countries happen to be white. That's literally what they're mad at. Another person wrote, Black women are tired of being so unfairly treated in this society. It's already ugly. My solidarity with Miss Nigeria, who was without a doubt the best of the night.
Effin the chat says, what is the diversity in a single person? Beautifully phrased.
Literally.
He says,
it's impossible. That's a paradox.
He answered the question. He says, when the carpet doesn't match the drapes.
So I guess some people think that this is racist. And no one cares because peak woke already passed us.
Yeah. Well, they're gonna try to latch back on and do it again. There's a 20 there from Alejandro Reyes.
Regarding the pageant thing, having ugly or plain people win, I don't care about. It's the gaslighting into making me acknowledge them as hot. if you want ugly trans minorities to win, just create a contest for that. Well, that was never the point, obviously. I mean, of course, there have been, pageants for trans contestants or the separate pageants for plus size contestants in the past. Yeah. But that's never been the point, is creating their own space. They want to be included in the mainstream pageant, the biggest one in the world, Miss Universe, formerly owned by Donald Trump, because it's about shattering beauty standards. It's about changing the norm. But you will never be able to do that because beauty standards are hardwired into the human brain.
Yeah.
It's a losing effort.
Much the same way when I talked about why movies where women eschew love interests fail because it goes against nature. Women love the idea of being saved by a strong, competent man. No man in the world daydreams about being saved by an annoying, snarky woman. That's not how the world works. I'm sorry. Hate to be the one to break it to you, but that's the truth. And Hollywood will bankrupt itself trying to change these beauty standards and try to change human nature.
I think this is also ironic because it's mostly feminists who are pushing back on the announcement. They are the ones who have screamed all these years about how the way a woman looks has nothing to do with her respectability. The way that she dresses or whether she fits conventional beauty standards has nothing to do with her intellect or her accomplishments, right? Mm-hmm. But now they're the ones screaming that this woman, because she is blonde, tall, and basically a living Barbie doll, that means that she's bland and has nothing interesting about her. She has no intellect. They're saying that because she's hot, she's not smart enough to win this competition.
What if she had just gone up there and done a bunch of blonde jokes? That would have been sweet.
Actually, that would be great.
Like a bunch of meta blonde jokes.
But they did know, she's 21 and a former pro dancer holding a degree in marketing and business. They always has big plans to become a lawyer.
They always have degrees in marketing.
I mean, she's 21. You can't expect her to have a rap sheet of accomplishments already. But still, it's not like she's literally just some random escort they found off the streets. Yeah. She does have accomplishments.
It's kind of like I always laugh when people would try to dismiss Kayleigh McEnany because of how she looked. I'm like, have you seen her resume? Mm-hmm. She went to she went to all the Ivy League schools. She was basically bred for success from the beginning with her education and her career. Mm-hmm. But because she looks a certain way, she'll be dismissed.
I saw that Donald Trump Jr. posted about this, saying, finally, an attractive, actual biological woman won Miss Universe. And I just have to point out the irony of that statement because his father, Donald Trump, is literally responsible for changing the rules of the Miss Universe pageant to allow trans contestants who are biologically male to compete against women.
That's pretty woke, Donald.
Back in 2012. Yeah. That was way earlier on. I know that the trans issue wasn't as...
what it is now.
Yeah, it wasn't as prevalent as it is now, but in a way that almost means you should have known better.
Yeah.
At the time. I know it's been a long time since that happened, and the issue has...
changed
to include other fields such as sports as well, which are far more cut and dry. But still, not a good look.
Yeah.
Not a good look 12 years later. And then he was forced to sell the Miss Universe organization as soon as he started his political career because they wanted to cut ties with any of that controversy.
Is the male version of this, so if women went through this phase where you had to eschew traditional beauty standards for these pageants, is the male version of this akin to picking the most unproblematic dude ever to be sexiest man of the year?
I mean, I think that the People's Sexiest Man Alive thing is more of a psyop that's being conducted on women
to get them to change. Well, I mean, wouldn't you say would the same be true for men, that trying to change the beauty standard at these pageants is designed to make men change what they're attracted to? But are men the ones watching these, or are women the ones watching these? I don't know the demographic breakdown of these types of events.
Well, it's sort of like the Victoria's Secret fashion show. Women loved that. I mean, they loved the Victoria's Secret show.
And their boyfriends and husbands were like, sure, I guess I'll watch it with
Yeah,
you.
like begrudgingly. I couldn't care less, really. But women loved that show because, contrary to popular belief, women love aspirational beauty standards. They do. There's a very small, very loud subset of women, feminists mainly, who are trying to destroy those beauty standards, but the vast majority still want to see women that they aspire to look like.
Yep.
That's the truth, and that's what sells.
Which means that for both men and women, we should be able to agree on one thing, and that's that the desire for aspirational celebrities, aspirational beauty, aspirational characters in movies and television should be at the forefront of everything that you're making. If you're making a character that's snarky and annoying, aspire to higher. Do better, as they say.
I like that. That's very inspirational.
Yes, we do our best. Look, honestly, it's one of the reasons why I laugh and I give The Rock a pass most of the time. I was like, dude's like in his 50s and looks the way he does. I don't give a crap if he's using a bunch of steroids. I don't care if his movies are crappy. I get a kick out of it, right? Every time he shows up in a Fast and the Furious movie, I'm like, I like that guy. I don't care what anybody says.
Right. Men have a much different approach to those types of conversations. But I think the biggest shift in beauty standards from the 2000s to the 2010s was when we went from essentially the Paris Hilton Barbie archetype, tall, leggy blonde, to the Kim Kardashian type. Yeah. So ethnically ambiguous, super exaggerated hourglass figure proportions, big lips, big eyebrows, very exaggerated features. And that's not to knock on either one of those archetypes, but it's just funny to see how the tastes are changing now. And I saw this person tweet, "We're entering the era of tight, juggy baddies, and I am here for it," with one photo of the ring girl from the Jake Paul-Mike Tyson fight and one photo of Sydney Sweeney. They seem to be the beauty standard of the 2020s.
So far?
Yeah. It is changing, weirdly enough, back to like the 80s.
I did laugh because I was one of the things you see a lot is when especially when you talk about actresses, they talk about you're done after 25 or 26 and then nobody remembers you and they always have to complain about how there's no roles for them anymore. I looked up, I was trying to brainstorm who I would pick for Lara Croft, and I was just looking at the ranker list of the top 75 female actresses right now. They're like all in their 40s.
Well, I did see
in mid-30s.
A lot of people were really hoping Melissa Barrera was going to play Lara Croft.
Sadly, I think Haley Steinfeld would have been a good option, but because she plays Hawkgirl, but she's also not British and probably can't do a British accent. Or is she? I don't think she's British, but
no,
okay. Point being that, you know, your career is not over at 25 anymore. You just, you know, aspire to more.
Right. I don't know why they get that impression when all of the A-list actresses right now are in their 30s or at least
later.
their late 20s or later.
Or later. I mean, a lot of them are older than that now. Like, the only reason I said Haley Steinfeld because Sophie Turner was 28 and I was looking for somebody that was around the same age as her. But Gal Gadot is like everyone is laughing about how Gal Gadot is mogging Rachel Zegler in the Snow White stuff because she's supposed to be the one jealous of Rachel Zegler's beauty, but Gal Gadot is 39.
Yeah. Can you imagine if they cast someone to be the evil queen who actually is unattractive?
That'd be great.
Like, maybe they should have done that to commit to the story.
I love watching old episodes of television shows because of their willingness to be unkind and for actors to take roles that have them being unkind too about their physical appearance. Whether because they're just committed to the art or they needed the job, I can appreciate the honesty of like people making fun of a character for being fat and the actor is like, I'll take this role.
Well, in Snow White, the evil queen morphs into an ugly old hag. So I'm wondering who's going to be playing that version of the evil queen.
Maybe they'll do it with prosthetics and
I guess
and CGI.
Yeah.
So, well, we will have to wait and see, but rest assured that the screaming harpies will not give up without a fight. You will have to remain vigilant, because every year that you don't pay close attention to this is like a double-edged sword where everyone's like, oh, we're so back. I'm like, 1 year of like a couple of results that you like does not mean we're so back, because people who do believe in this, like the Marxist destruction of beauty, that's omnipresent, and they never give up. There is no cause but for the revolution, and they will continue forever, and they have the stamina of a pro wrestler in their prime. Okay, they can do this forever. They will work endlessly to destroy everything Western civilization has decided as beautiful and as aspirational, because it's ingrained in them. It's what they want. So you better remain vigilant. If you care about these things, they're not going to give up. You can't either.
So that's a comeback for Miss Universe, maybe. And
Yeah.
I think the Victoria's Secret fashion show should just catch up with where they're headed.
There you go.
Thanks for watching. Listen to full episodes of Pop Culture Crisis on Spotify.
Keep up with us on social media and make sure you subscribe and ring that bell so you never miss the show. Bye, guys.